So get this. Today we're diving deep into the story of a woman who was like Hollywood glamour A&D, a groundbreaking inventor.
Oh, yeah.
It's wild, right? You probably know her as the most beautiful woman in the world.
Right.
But Hedy Lamarr, she was so much more than just a pretty face.
Oh, absolutely. Way more.
She was like a total trailblazer in technology. And her invention, we still see its impact today.
Yeah.
Like every day. Crazy.
It's really fascinating. Her story is like woven into this huge historical moment, World War II. You know, she was a Jewish refugee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fled Nazi-controlled Austria.
I bet that conflict really like shaped her.
Totally, deeply. It fueled this desire in her to help the Allies, but not how you'd think.
Yeah, you don't really picture a Hollywood starlet working on some top secret invention.
Right.
Like between filming a movie?
Yeah, I know, but that's exactly what she was doing.
Right.
And get this, what's even more wild, this revolutionary communication system she came up with. It actually came from, well, her first husband.
That's right.
Hold on. Let's back up.
Okay.
Who was she before all this?
Okay, so Hedy Lamarr, her real name was Hedwig Eva Maria Kiesler.
Whoa, what a name.
Right. Born in Vienna, Austria back in 1914, her dad was a bank director,
Okay.
but he actually sparked her interest in technology early on.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, encouraged her to be curious, explained how everyday things worked, like streetcars, printing presses, all sorts of stuff. Seems like those early chats kind of planted the seeds for her future inventions, you know?
Wow, yeah. But so how does a girl fascinated by technology end up like a big Hollywood star?
Well, she loved acting too.
Okay.
Started out in Vienna, then moved to Berlin, starred in this film called Ecstasy when she was only 18.
Well, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Considered like artistic in Europe,
Right?
but caused a big stir in America.
Why?
Let's just say some scenes were a little suggestive.
Oh.
Banned in some places even.
Wow. Talk about making an entrance. So then she meets and marries this Fritz Mandl, right? He was that arms dealer.
Exactly.
The Austrian one.
Yeah, Austrian. And super powerful, too. Connected to Mussolini and the Nazi regime.
Wow.
Lamarr basically trapped in this, like, luxurious prison. She's going to fancy parties, business meetings, surrounded by scientists, military folks, all talking about the latest weapons.
I bet she was soaking it all in.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She said later these meetings really got her inventive juices flowing. It was like her mind was making connections, seeing possibilities beyond just war.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But this marriage wasn't exactly a fairy tale, huh?
No, not at all.
More like, as you said, a gilded cage.
Yeah. Lamarr felt stifled, controlled by Mandl. She wanted freedom, a chance to, like, chase her own dreams. So she did something crazy, disguised herself as a maid.
What?
Yeah, and fled to Paris.
That's some, like, movie-level stuff. Must have taken a lot of courage.
Oh, tons. It was in Paris that she met Louis B. Mayer, head of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, you know?
Yeah.
He was instantly, like, captivated by her, offered her a Hollywood contract, and boom, Hedy Lamarr, the icon, was born.
So escapes a controlling husband in Austria, then becomes a huge Hollywood star. Quite the journey.
Yeah.
But was she actually happy?
Well, that's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Despite all the fame and fortune, she wanted more than just those glamorous roles. Missed the intellectual buzz of her earlier life, that thrill of exploring scientific ideas.
So even in Hollywood, surrounded by all that, she never really let go of technology.
Nope, not at all. In fact, she set up a little secret lab at home, drafting table, shelves full of engineering books. This wasn't just a hobby for her. She was serious.
Wow. It's amazing, picturing this Hollywood icon amidst movie scripts, secretly working on inventions in her spare time. What was she working on?
So she was developing this secret communication system, used a concept called frequency hopping. It was to prevent enemies from jamming radio-controlled torpedoes.
Oh, wow. During the war.
Yeah, think about it. Torpedoes are a crucial weapon. If the enemy could jam the signals controlling them, disaster.
Right. Okay, so this frequency hopping,
Yeah.
how's that work?
Imagine a radio signal, but it keeps switching channels to avoid interference.
Okay, yeah.
That's basically what frequency hopping does. Lamarr's idea was to make the torpedo's controls unpredictable, jumping around between frequencies, making it almost impossible to intercept or jam.
Pretty genius. How'd she figure that out?
That's where it gets even more interesting. She had this collaborator, kind of unexpected, George Antheil. He was an avant-garde composer known for his unusual music.
Yo.
And Thiel had actually played around with synchronizing, get this, multiple player pianos for one of his pieces.
Wait, hold up. Player pianos, like those self-playing ones at the paper roll.
Yep, those.
What did those have to do with radio signal?
Might seem weird, but that experience, synchronizing the pianos, making them jump between notes precisely, that was the key to Lamarr's invention.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm hooked. Tell me more.
So they realized, just like those pianos jumping between notes, the radio signals could do the same, hop frequencies in a set pattern. Super hard to intercept. It was revolutionary. They even submitted it to the National Inventors Council. They wanted to help the war effort.
That's amazing. So what happened? Did the Navy, flip out?
Yeah.
Realize how brilliant it was and use it?
Well, not quite. The Navy, they just didn't get it. They basically compared it to putting a player piano in a torpedo.
You're kidding.
They dismissed it, told Lamarr to stick to selling war bonds, a role focusing on her beauty, not her brains.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking. All that work, all that genius, just tossed aside. What happened next?
Yeah, it's rough. Lamarr got a patent in 42, but it wasn't used. The technology was seen as too complex, too pricey. For years, her contribution to technology went unnoticed. People just knew her as a captivating actress, the Hollywood siren, not the brilliant inventor she was.
So her brilliance was right there, but hidden.
Yeah, but luckily that wouldn't last forever. It's pretty mind-blowing, right? This groundbreaking tech, rejected during the war, ends up shaping how we communicate today.
Yeah, crazy. It really makes you think, how many other awesome ideas are out there just waiting to be discovered?
Yeah.
But so what happened to Lamarr's invention after the Navy said, nah? Did she, keep trying to make it happen?
Well, she did get a patent for the secret communication system back in 42, but it wasn't really used. People thought the technology was too complicated, too expensive.
So it just, sat on a shelf, gathering dust.
Pretty much, yeah. And for years, Lamarr's big contribution to technology, it went unnoticed. The public, they knew her as that glamorous actress, the Hollywood star, not a brilliant inventor.
It's like her brilliance was hidden in plain sight. But it didn't stay hidden forever, right?
Yeah.
When did people finally start seeing her as the tech genius she was?
It wasn't until, the late 20th century that her invention really got the recognition it deserved. As technology got better, that whole idea of frequency hopping, it became super relevant, especially with wireless communication.
Oh, so this is where it all connects to, our world today. Explain that. How did her idea lead to things like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth?
Remember frequency hopping. The signal keeps switching channels to avoid interference. Well, that's the foundation for how a lot of wireless tech works today. Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth. They all rely on frequency hopping to make sure the data gets transmitted smoothly and securely.
Whoa. So every time I connect to Wi-Fi or use my Bluetooth headphones,
you're benefiting from Hedy Lamarr's genius.
That's incredible. And once people understood how important her invention was, they started celebrating her for her mind, not just her looks.
Exactly.
About time. When did she actually start getting those awards and recognition? Was she alive to see how much her invention changed things?
Sadly, no. She didn't get widespread recognition while she was alive. But in 97, she and George Antheil got the Electronic Frontier Foundation's Pioneer Award together. It recognized their groundbreaking contribution to, digital communication.
That's awesome. They were both recognized, even if it was way later. But what about Lamarr on her own? Did she get any individual awards?
Yeah, that came a few years later. In 2014, she was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame, posthumously, of course. But still, imagine that. Her name alongside some of the greatest inventors ever.
That's a huge honor. It's like the world finally woke up and said, hey, this Hollywood star, she was a genius who helped shape the future.
Absolutely. It reminds us that looks can be deceiving. Never underestimate anyone's potential just because of how they look. Lamarr's story, it's an inspiration for anyone who's ever felt, stuck in a box or underestimated.
Such a classic story, right? Perseverance, ingenuity. She faced rejection, obscurity. But her idea, it finally got out there. Changed the way we communicate forever.
And her legacy goes way beyond technology. She's become a symbol like female empowerment, a role model for inventors, especially women. It shows you should never give up on what you love, even when things get tough.
This deep dive has been incredible. I feel like I've learned so much about Hedy Lamarr. She was so much more than just a Hollywood star. She's a visionary.
Yeah. But there's one more thing about her life I think is worth talking about. Her philanthropy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm always curious about how people use their, platform to give back. Tell me more about that.
Well, it's often said that true success isn't just about what you achieve, but also about how you use your influence to make the world better.
I love that.
And Hedy Lamarr, she really lived that. So yeah, Hedy Lamarr, she really lived that idea of using your success to make the world better.
Okay, so what causes was she like super into?
Two big ones: children and scientific advancement.
Awesome.
She was a big supporter of UNICEF, advocating for kids all over the world. And get this, she started the Hedy Lamarr Foundation.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was all about promoting STEM education, especially for young girls.
That's amazing. Like she's trying to open doors for future generations to, reach their potential, break down those gender barriers, kind of like the ones she faced,
You got it. She wanted other young women to have it easier than she did, in those fields where it's usually mostly guys, science, tech, all that. She wanted to empower them.
Yeah, to just go for it.
Exactly.
I think that's such a powerful part of her story. Even with all the fame and fortune, she never forgot about giving back, using her platform to make a real difference.
Totally. It says a lot about her, don't you think? Beyond the beauty, the brain, she had this big heart, believed in the power of, human creativity to solve problems, make a better world.
Absolutely. And her story, it still speaks to us today. It reminds us that we can all do something meaningful. Doesn't matter where we come from or what we've been through.
Yeah. What sticks with you most about Hedy Lamarr? What's the biggest takeaway for you?
Good question. I think it's just how multi-talented she was. We try to put people in boxes, actress, inventor, philanthropist, but she didn't fit in just one.
Right.
She was all those things and more. It reminds me that we shouldn't limit ourselves or each other based on some idea we have in our heads.
That's a great point. And her story really shows us that you can't judge a book by its cover. Look deeper, You never know what amazing things someone is capable of.
So true. Hedy Lamarr, Hollywood icon, genius inventor, generous philanthropist, a woman who broke the mold, defied expectations every step of the way. Her life shows us the power of never giving up, the importance of following your passion, and what happens when you have a curious mind.
It's been an amazing deep dive.
Yeah, it really has.
So as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with this. What will you do to channel your inner Hedy Lamarr? How will you, embrace your potential, make your mark on the world? Think about it.